Hi, my name is Terry Sager. I'm going to read part of a story of mine that appears in the Olympic Peninsula author's fourth anthology, Prevail. The title is COVID, Camping, and Coping. This is a true story. Even those of us who have been spared a direct hit from the COVID-19 pandemic have been grief-stricken by the enormity of loss of life and livelihood as the media brought us the news of its spread. None of us has been spared the collateral damage of losing the simple freedom of going about the activities that made up our daily lives. These were the things that gave our lives form, function, and meaning, as well as the activities that served as respite from our obligations. If our escape was outside the confines of our homes, COVID-19 took it from us. So then, how would we cope without our coping mechanisms? RV camping with my dog Cricket was my main escape. I had only been doing it about a year when the virus crept in and unapologetically snatched it away. The main reason I started to RV in the first place was to avoid the day of regret, the day when maybe I wouldn't be physically able to venture out on my own and experience nature's beauty and the peace it brought me. I never expected a pandemic to stop me. When I began this RV journey, I was a total novice, and since my co-pilot was a dog, if and when anything went wrong, I'd have to handle it myself. I was going to have to get brave and just go. If I gave in to the fear, I would never do it. But what was I afraid of? Sometimes of the mundane, like backing over a picnic table in person, a cliff, when maneuvering into a campsite, or having the dump site experience go terribly wrong, or just in general, screwing up and being humiliated. Visions of long-timers staring, pointing, and laughing haunted my thoughts. And then there was the big fear, the fear of the dark. In early February 2020, still blissfully ignorant that the tsunami called COVID-19 was rolling in, I went to a campground that was basically deserted. I was so happy when I got there and realized there were only about 5 other RVs in the entire park. That had been my plan, after all. Then it got dark. At about 8 p.m., I took Cricket out one last time, flashlight in one hand, leash in the other, and I led her toward a grassy area behind the RV. Cricket started barking and lunging toward something in the dark. I looked in that direction and saw a light, like an LED lantern. I didn't see anyone, but she continued her danger bark. Someone had to be holding the lantern. I didn't see anyone, but she continued her bark. I wasn't about to shine my flashlight on them and demand, "Who goes there?" It scared me big time. I scrambled back into the RV, pulling Cricket, who was still straining on the leash and still barking. Remember the boogeyman? I turned off the lights in the RV and peered out a window. At first I saw nothing. After a very long 5 minutes, I saw the light go up the road and disappear into the woods. Maybe someone had come to the campground late and occupied the campsite just up the way from me and was making their way back from the restrooms. Since it was February, I had about 11 hours until daylight, and I had no cell service. I really had no choice but to try to sleep and tell myself it was nothing. I slept eventually with the lights on and the curtains closed. That was true fear. I still can't figure out why the person didn't just say something instead of standing there in silence. At daybreak, I walked toward that campsite just to confirm my hypotheses that it was a latecomer the night before. I was surprised by what I saw. You'll have to read the full story in the anthology to find out what it was. Thank you.